Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nature Source Care. My name is Dr. Tonglen. I'm a naturopathic physician. And in today's talk, I was going to discuss the medicinal benefits of the common kitchen spice basil, which is Ocimum basilicum in Latin. And this is part of my kitchen pharmacy series. So let's get into a note beforehand, the information presented here is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. For any symptoms that persist or worsen, please consult with a qualified medical professional. It's always best to determine the root cause of any disease and to develop a comprehensive treatment plan. And while botanical medicine or nutritional remedies can be very effective, they may not be appropriate for everyone or as a single therapy, so please keep that in mind. And if you are using any sort of botanical medicine or nutritional remedies, it's probably nice to know or important to know that the two most common side effects of any plant-based medicine are digestive upset and skin itching. All right, so yeah, it's good to keep in mind. So the content of this video and similar content videos are located in my botanical medicine, my nutrition, and my kitchen pharmacy playlists. I'm very good at keeping my videos organized by playlists so that they're easy to find. And the information presented here is based on my book, Drink to Your Health: Medicinal Teas, Juices, and Milks from Around the World, which is available on Amazon if you ever want to pick up a copy. Um, and part of the reason why I wrote this book is because I found it very, I was having a hard time finding books that integrated different paradigms of medicine on nutrition. And so that's what I feel like this book offers. So in this book, I integrate nutrition information from Ayurveda, which is traditional Indian medicine, naturopathic medicine, which is a traditional natural medicine from various cultures, and Western modern medicine. Okay. The other thing to know is that each of my playlists is essentially a course on natural medicine. So if you're interested in learning other things like Marma therapy, which is Ayurvedic acupressure, or Ayurvedic acupressure from traditional Indian medicine, I have a whole playlist there. I've taught all 117 points, and I have some additional videos, so that's all up and running. I have a larger umbrella playlist of Ayurveda, traditional Indian medicine, so that's out there. Bach flower remedies, which are a type of homeopathy. I've done most of the remedies at this point. I have a few more to do, but most of them are up. Homeopathy is a bigger umbrella for the Bach flower remedies, and I do have some classic homeopathy there. And once I finish the Bach flower remedies, I'll be doing more classic homeopathy. I have a whole playlist on yoga and meditation. I have another playlist on hydrotherapy or the therapeutic use of water. I have a playlist on body care, so different sorts of techniques you can use to take care of the physical self. And I have a cleansing playlist, which is not just cleansing of the body, which is what most people probably hear about or think about or, you know, look for information about, but it's cleansing on every level, so physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So any of that stuff, if it's interesting or uh, if you're curious about any of the stuff, all the information is out there in the different video playlists. Okay, so let's get to basil. That's why we're here, right? So, basil, the Latin name is Ocimum basilicum. The parts of the plant that are used to make like a tea, for example, are the leaves. Okay, and the way that you would make a tea from basil is you would use an infusion method. Okay, so if you don't know about different methods for making medicinal teas, I do have a whole video on different methods for making medicinal teas, so you can check that out. So you can learn like the difference between infusion and decoction and when you might use one or the other. Um, so for those interested in Ayurveda, Ayurveda is a energetic paradigm of medicine. Basil is a herb that will decrease vata or wind energy, increase pitta or fire energy, and decrease kapha or earth energy. Now, if you don't know Ayurveda or you don't know these terms or it's not familiar, don't worry about it. Just move on to the next section. But if you're a student of Ayurveda, this will be meaningful to you. In terms of additional energetics for Ayurveda, um, the taste of basil is pungent, sweet, astringent, and bitter. So you get 4 out of the 6 tastes in Ayurveda. It's a heating herb, mildly heating. So you can't, it doesn't tend to be too It won't necessarily kind of exacerbate a pitta condition, although it is a warming herb and it is pungent in nature as its after effect. So the different systems that basil affects, it affects the nervous system. It can help things like insomnia. It's an antispasmodic, so if any sort of cramping or tightness in muscles and that sort of thing could be helpful there. It's a calming herb. It can help with some types of headaches. It can also help with stress because it is a calming herb, um, and anxiety as well as depression. So, again, you have to think about the, as I mentioned in one of the first slides, you have to think about the root cause of any disease. But in mild cases, maybe acute cases of anxiety, depression, they can be helpful. But for chronic, long-term anxiety and depression, I don't think basil tea would be, enough. So, but maybe part of a larger plan for somebody. Basil also is very helpful for the respiratory system. So it's like basil tea would be very helpful when you have a cold, a cough, especially like a productive cough, sinus congestion, bronchitis, allergies, and flu. Because it is slightly warming, it'll kind of move fluids in the lungs without being so hot that it'll dry out the lungs, that sort of thing. Basil also helps the cardiovascular system. It's a diaphoretic, can get the blood moving and help cool it off. It lowers cholesterol and increases circulation generally. It kind of gets the blood moving and flowing. It also helps the gastrointestinal system, like many common spice herbs. It helps with general indigestion, just, a little bit of maybe gas, bloating, that sort of thing, because it is a warming herb. It increases appetite, so know that about it, whether you want that effect or not. And it can also help with things like ulcerative colitis and ulcers, that sort of thing. It can help the musculoskeletal system with some types of arthritis because it is a warming herb and it gets the circulation moving. It does also help the immune system, so things like fungal infections can be helped, and it's also a general anti-inflammatory. General effects of this herb is it does help to reduce fever, even though it's a warming herb, and part of that is through its diaphoretic, actions here. So, diaphoresis basically what it does is by increasing circulation, it brings the blood supply closer to the surface of the skin, and when the blood can get closer to the skin, it can release some of the heat that's in the blood. And it's also an antioxidant, so that's kind of nice. You might have heard of Tulsi. Tulsi is also known as holy basil, and it is one variety of this herb. So, holy basil, which is a sacred herb in India, um, is used for many of the things listed here. And talking about India, there are special effects of basil beyond sort of physical kind of effects that somebody typically is looking for with nutrition. That's part of why I do Ayurvedic nutrition is because they have, it's a 5,000-year-old, system of medicine, and there's so much knowledge, deep knowledge on whole food and whole herb effects on not only the body but also the mind and spirit. So, special effects of this basil herb is that it balances the sixth chakra, which is the center of intuition. It helps increase devotion, promotes clarity of mind and heart, and it also supports meditation by being calming for the nervous system. Because if somebody's a little bit stressed or, they're running around, keeping up with modern busy life, they may have a bit of restless energy. And so basil will help to calm them down so that they can focus and have a more clear and better, perhaps longer of meditation. Okay, so that's basil. Again, the information presented in this talk is based on my book, which is available on Amazon. I do have another YouTube channel on Vedic astrology, so that's out there too if that's interesting to you. And I have an online photography gallery and gift shop if you're in photography. So until the next one, take care. Namaste.